Looks like we're going to SEMA this year. Okay, I get it. I thought it was funny. Somebody just do like, I don't know, hashtag dad jokes in the comment section below, and let's get this thing started. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Finally Legal. In this series, we drive the JDM legends that are, well, finally legal. This is a 1994 Nissan CIMA. Call it a Y32 if you're nerdy, but all you need to know is that it's a classic big body Japanese luxury sedan. The CIMA was built to occupy the space below the massive Nissan President, so this sedan was built for comfort, not speed. But that doesn't mean it's slow. Up front, it's got a 4.1 liter V8 rated at 266 horsepower, and it's even rear-wheel drive. And as you can see, this one has been tastefully modified with some aftermarket wheels and a set of RSR coilovers. Other than that, this car is equipped just as the day it rolled off the assembly line. This example proves that the CIMA is a car that needs to be lowered. Stock, it sits way too high and has tires with way too much sidewall. But here, it's just about perfect. This car sits just low enough, and those long, low body lines feel just right when sat just inches from the ground. Inside, things look showroom fresh. Only those laced oilies might be aftermarket, but even then, they carry the official Nissan branding. All seats front and back get full power adjustment, and there's a ton of room for everyone inside. Things feel elevated, but not extravagant, from the font used for the gauge cluster to the minimal use of faux wood trim. The dash is simple, but gets a tape deck, CD player, and analog clock. Pop-out control panels sit on either side of the steering wheel. And even the rear transmission hump gets a badge of excellence. One thing I really like about the interior is that the seats are cloth. I know it's not kind of typical luxury, especially now everyone's thinking, oh my God, it's gotta be leather or some kind of exotic material. But it's a 90-degree day outside right now, and if these seats were leather, I would be suffering some severe burns. And if you've ever been to Japan in the summer, it's brutal. So I think this is actually a smarter choice because you can sit in it, you can drive, and the seats aren't gonna kill you. Now, what's really surprising, considering that this car doesn't feel all that large on the outside, especially compared to what we consider a mid-sized car today, this thing is incredibly spacious. I mean, I'm 6'1", I've got a pretty decent amount of headroom, a great amount of legroom and knee room. And what's even cooler is that the seat can actually recline, or recline-ish. It's not, you know, a full Barco lounger, but hey, push the button, things go forward, starts to lean back, and I can sort of relax. And let's talk controls. You can tell that this CIMA was never intended for export outside of Japan. Every control is in Japanese, so if you're not up on your kanji, there will be a bit of trial and error learning the buttons. But I love the fact that it uses actual buttons, meaning anyone can operate this car's functions on muscle memory alone, kind of negating the need to read anything. So let's talk driving. Yes, that 4.1 liter V8 is rather large, but at just 266 horsepower, it can be considered underpowered by today's standards. And in a world where pickup trucks now get 10-speed auto boxes, the CIMA's 4-speed slush box can seem archaic. But drive it, and you'll find that this powertrain is more than adequate. Now, the CIMA, when new, was available with either an active air suspension or, you know, just an active sport suspension. So the suspension would read what's going on with the road, react accordingly, and give you a smooth ride. If you see these cars stock, they ride taller than Bigfoot, and their sidewall is like a mile wide, or a mile tall, I should say. This, as you can see, is not that. It's on much larger wheels, on a much lower profile tire, and it is low and riding static, but it's actually pretty comfortable. I'm really surprised. I thought this would be sort of a punishing ride with how low it is and with how small that sidewall is, but whoever built it did a really good job. But what really shocks me is just how perfect the interior of this car is. It's a 26-year-old car with no squeaks, no rattles, and no other unwanted noises to speak of. The dash looks brand new, and the upholstery is as tight as it was in 1994. There are only 42,000 miles on the clock, and this car was babied for each and every one of them. I personally love this era of Japanese luxury sedans, and I have always wanted a mid-90s VIP styled ride. This CIMA is mighty tempting, But since I have a kid and all, I have exactly $0 to my name. Still, you won't find a car of similar vintage that's this clean, and I'm thinking about selling plasma just so I can make the down payment on this car. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for letting me rant about how much I love this Nissan CIMA. As usual, you know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, but more importantly, comment below. Tell us what you want to see. Do you want to see me do more VIP cars like this? Or do you want to see more sports cars? Or do you want to see me comically try and cram my 6.1 frame into a K car? Whatever you want, we'll get it done. So comment below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.